Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. It is the beginning of the week. We are here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe this may be the first time ever that WWE has not only hosted Monday Night Raw in Hawaii, but had a show. I don't know if there's ever been a show in Hawaii. Well, here on the channel, we are making history because not only do we have the Reina de Reinas champion putting her title on the line, we are here in Honolulu, Hawaii. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go ahead and open up with a championship matchup. We have Lola Vice, the current AAA Reina de Reinas champion, putting her championship on the line against Raquel Rodriguez, La Más Ruda, a member of the Judgment Day. Here in our opening matchup, we do have another title match in the main event. That is Chad Gable getting an IC championship opportunity against the current champion, the ruler, Oba Femi. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Raquel Rodriguez. And look who is accompanying her. Not only is it Liv Morgan, who has been a part of the Judgment Day for a while, their newest member, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Roxanne Perez, is officially part of the Judgment Day. She is under, I don't know if you want to say the mentorship or the mind control of Liv and Raquel, but Roxanne Perez is a part of the Judgment Day. She got gold without them, so I'm not sure why she needs them now. They've tricked her into something, but she is here in the corner of Raquel Rodriguez alongside Liv Morgan. But ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin and commence this opening matchup right away. Lola Vice, Raquel Rodriguez. We have the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship on the line. Will Lola Vice be able to successfully defend this championship and continue being the AAA Reina de Reinas champion? Or will we be able to crown Raquel Rodriguez as a brand new AAA Reina de Reinas champion? We'll find out in just a moment as this match has begun. And very early on, we are already seeing the full effect of having the numbers game as Liv Morgan not only distracted Lola Vice. There we see Roxanne Perez quickly investing in the Judgment Day ways as she threw a big hit to Lola Vice. They're not sure why the referee didn't disqualify her there, or didn't eject her from the matchup. But we are seeing very early on why having the numbers game is so important and why with the Judgment Day it is such a huge advantage. Lola Vice still fighting, even if it means fighting all three. She is going at it. Lola Vice is distracted, too focused on Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. That Raquel Rodriguez is able to go ahead and just lay some huge, enormous damage onto Lola Vice as the referee's count gets to 8. Raquel Rodriguez hops inside of the ring. She cannot win the championship by countout. Yes, she can win the match, but she will not leave with the championship. And finally, the referee has had enough, and Liv Morgan has been ejected. This fixes things a little bit for Lola Vice, but as a reminder, in Raquel's corner is still the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Roxanne Perez. As Raquel was looking for the pinfall right there, but a kick out at 2 by Lola Vice. So yes, Raquel Rodriguez still has Roxanne Perez in her corner and has shown very quickly that she is willing to play dirty. Even if that really hasn't been her style. I'm very confused on why she chose to be a part of the Judgment Day, but I guess there's nothing we can do about it. She is a part of the Judgment Day. And I want to take a little bit of a look at some of the champions we've already had here. Of course, our very first title change here in Season 2 was the Dungeon Dolls, as they were able to go ahead and become the brand new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Then we went to Naomi, who was able to win the Women's WWE Championship. We had the Bronze most recently win the World Tag Team Championships, and something that just happened this weekend, and we will be seeing them in action. Over on AAA, we had the LWO Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde. They fought for the AAA World Tag Team Championships, and they won. They are the brand new AAA World Tag Team Champions. They have brought the titles here to Monday Night Raw, and we will be seeing them in action here tonight. And then, of course, we have another AAA championship on the line here tonight. We could be seeing a new champion at the moment. It is very high in possibility. Not only does Raquel have the numbers game, she is removing the padding out the turnbuckle using her cheating ways. She's obviously a lot bigger of a superstar. She's a powerhouse here. So it does seem as though Lola Vice is coming here with disadvantages all over the place, but she still definitely could defend her title. She is AAA Reina de Reinas champion for a reason. But nevertheless, at the moment, it is Raquel Rodriguez who is doing some enormous damage. A huge powerbomb into the pinfall. Lola Vice able to kick out at Sue, somehow staying alive in this matchup. And now Lola Vice with an opportunity of her own, doing some big damage to Raquel Rodriguez. And now gonna look for the pinfall, excuse me. 1, 2, a kick out at Sue by Raquel Rodriguez. And now Raquel and Lola Vice going at it. Back and forth action. It does seem as though Roxanne Perez has calmed down a little bit since Liv Morgan got ejected. I'm not sure if it's because she doesn't feel as comfortable attacking and doing these cheating tactics on her own, or if because she realized the referee is willing to eject Liv Morgan and is probably willing to eject her as well, but she definitely has calmed down, and we see this play out inside of the ring as Lola Vice is slowly building that confidence and that momentum and is starting to go ahead and get on the attack here. A couple of stomps, a nice clothesline dropping Raquel Rodriguez, and now Raquel Rodriguez is able to counter. And now Lola Vice is in trouble once again as Raquel Rodriguez looking to... Oh no, I thought she was going to slam down Lola Vice. Instead, looking for the submission. Lola Vice is able to escape. But look at that tricky situation that Lola Vice is being put in on. Huge kick. Oh no, just when we thought Lola Vice could secure the victory, Jada Parker always getting involved. She's been involved in Roxanne Perez's matches when she first made her debut. Now getting involved in Lola Vice's matches. She cannot let go of these NXT women. And now Raquel Rodriguez with a sneaky pinfall. 2, 3, and that does it. Jada Parker has just handed the AAA Reina de Reinas championship to Raquel Rodriguez. And Lola Vice is going to be fuming about that. She had just connected a huge kick to Raquel Rodriguez. Could have put her away. Lights go out. Jada Parker comes out. Distracts Lola Vice. And that is enough for Raquel Rodriguez to get a sneaky pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new AAA Reina de Reinas champion in Raquel Rodriguez. Congratulations. I mean, the Judgment Day do not play clean. We expected this, but does this mean Jada Parker is still wanting to just beef with NXT or ex-NXT superstars like she did with Roxanne Perez? Or since they got Roxanne Perez, is the Judgment Day also trying to bring in Jada Parker? That is something we're going to have to wait and figure out to see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, we open up with a championship matchup. And we open up with a brand new champion, Raquel Rodriguez. A world champion in Mexico. I mean, a world champion here too, but like, the title is from Mexico. She is the AAA Reina de Reinas champion. She has defeated and ended Lola Vice's reign. Wow. Huge shocker. I bet Lola Vice is fuming, and she is not only going to come after Roxanne, Liv, and Raquel, but now adding Jada Parker to the list. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, as much as I would love to keep unraveling the deep mysteries that is the Judgment Day and who they're working with and what they're doing and all of this, we got to keep going because, ladies and gentlemen, if my memory serves me correct, this weekend we have the Money in the Bank PLE. We have the men's and women's ladder matches. We hopefully got a couple title matches which are going to be confirmed. Oh yeah. But of course right now what we're focusing on is those ladder matches. We have qualifying matches here tonight. We have LA Knights, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Bronson Reed and Logan Paul the Maverick. 3 men, only 1 ticket into the Money in the Bank ladder match, of course. Last year's winner was LA Knight. He made it into the Money in the Bank ladder match and became Mr. Money in the Bank and cashed in his title and was able to become world champion for a little bit. He was world champion for a bit, which is something not many people expected. They did expect him to win, but I don't think they expected him to succeed in his cash-in. But he was able to go ahead and hold the World Heavyweight Championship, which at the time I cannot remember who was holding it. I think he cashed it in on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has just defended in an incredible matchup against Gunther. And right after Sami Zayn was tired, LA Knight comes out, gets the job done. A little bit after a couple months, I believe, would eventually lose it to Seth Rollins, but nevertheless, he was able to get it done. And here tonight, if he can become Mr. Money in the Bank once again, he can surely get it done once again. So, very important that LA Knight wins here tonight. Very crucial that LA Knight qualifies again, because he could have the opportunity to become a world champion once again. Now, on the other hand, Logan Paul, we don't even want to talk about that. For this match, it's please Bronson Reed, LA Knight win. Anybody but Logan Paul. And then with Bronson Reed, it does quite, it brings me a little bit of a, Brings me a little bit of a, Why would he want to win? Why would anyone else from the division, except for maybe Seth, want to win the Money in the Bank briefcase or an opportunity at a world title? Of course, I don't know what they're plotting. It's not like I'm back there. Maybe they just want to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase so that there is no threat to Seth if he eventually goes for that rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship. But does make me question a little bit about the whole, what they're going for, their whole mission with the Vision. They kind of just winging it. They're just trying to win everything, or what's going on, right? But we'll see. 2 superstars, 1 wannabe, and only 1 can make it into the Money in the Bank ladder match. And again, with these videos, it's the same thing over and over. It's literally, you get rid of 1. Did I just say videos? With these matches, it's the same thing over and over again. You get rid of 1, you got to focus on the other. However, LA Knight could secure the victory here. Logan Paul is not inside of the ring. I just kind of jinxed LA Knight. I'm sorry about that, because Logan Paul came rushing in. And now Logan Paul doing some big damage. Clothesline sending LA Knight outside of the ring. Now looking to do some damage onto Bronson Reed. And hold on, Logan Paul can win the match here. Thank goodness Bronson Reed rolls away. No chance or opportunity for a pinfall there. And now Logan Paul is being sent outside of the ring flying. Bronson Reed attacks LA Knight. And now Bronson Reed is countered by LA Knight as LA Knight grabs Bronson Reed, sends him into the turnbuckle, and LA Knight could be looking for the finish here. However, Bronson Reed charging up, a second wind, a second lifeline, and he is in this. Hold on, Logan Paul trying to steal. What the hell are you doing? Bronson Reed is right there, and you're looking for the pinfall? I'm sorry, what are you doing? Like honestly. Anyway, LA Knight attacks a distracted Bronson Reed, and now Logan Paul, who has taken big damage right there after a big drop from Bronson Reed, rolls outside of the ring, and now a huge opportunity here for Logan Paul, who may be looking for the finisher. Instead, Bronson Reed straight out to the steel chair, drops LA Knight. 1, 2, a kick out at 2 by LA Knight. Yeah. And oh my days. And now Bronson Reed throwing metal bats at Logan Paul. Somehow this match is still going even after being dropped onto the steel chair. LA Knight able to kick out. However, Bronson Reed continuing to annihilate, continuing to attack as Bronson Reed climbs the top ropes. He may be looking for a tsunami onto Logan Paul. Distracted though as LA Knight may be able to steal the victory here. LA Knight. Oh, it's a slow rising Bronson Reed. What is LA Knight going to look to do? As LA Knight is countered headbutts by Bronson Reed, dropping LA Knight. And now Logan Paul, unfortunately, may be able to steal the victory here as he is doing some damage onto Bronson Reed. LA Knight comes in, making sure none of that happens again. I am very neutral most of the times with my matches, but right here, right now, anybody but Logan Paul, please. I'm rooting for you, Bronson Reed. I'm rooting for you, LA Knight. Heck, referee, you can win if you want to. Charles Robertson, or whatever your name is, as a quick roll-up by Bronson Reed, and a kick out by LA Knight. Kick out at 1. However, Bronson Reed not finished. LA Knight's able to counter. LA Knight's staying alive in this matchup. Able to counter once again, elbows to the face, and escapes the hold of Bronson Reed. And now grabbing Bronson Reed sends him into the turnbuckle. And now big stunner to LA Knight, who may be put away. 1, 2. Bronson Reed keeps this match going. He is quick enough to get inside of the ring and break the count. LA Knight gonna have to do a little bit more if he wants to win this matchup. Sending Bronson Reed outside of the ring now. Logan Paul with a clothesline to LA Knight. And now the Maverick Logan Paul off of the top rope, slugging a fly frog splash. LA Knight's able to counter there. And now LA Knight with a boot to the face of Logan Paul, who counters. Oh my days. I do not want to see Logan Paul win, please. As Bronson Reed picks up Logan Paul, slams him down and drops, making a big impact. As Bronson Reed looking for the pinfall, but LA Knight is there ready to break the counts. And now LA Knight grabbing Bronson Reed sends him over the top ropes. And now LA Knight could put this match away. Logan Paul counters. However, Logan Paul did not expect this. LA Knight still fighting back. And now LA Knight sends Logan Paul straight into the referee. A diamond cutter. And now could be the opportunity he was waiting for. As Bronson Reed tries to get him the win. He is hit with a big slam. And now LA Knight. Yeah. And he connects onto Bronson Reed into the pinfall. Logan Paul breaks the count, and this match continues. All 3 men staying alive, wanting to secure a place in the Money in the Bank ladder match. LA Knight tries again, but once again, the pinfall is broken. As now Bronson Reed and LA Knight, the last 2 men left inside of the ring, as Logan Paul has rolled out now, trying to catch his breath, trying to get stuff to start going in his favor. And maybe that way, the way to do that is by letting these guys beat up each other and coming in at the last second. And LA Knight watches as he has just done some enormous damage onto Bronson Reed, and now onto Logan Paul, who was trying to bring in a sledgehammer. Not a good idea, as now 1, 2, 3, LA Knight has done it. LA Knight has done it. Logan Paul tried doing a little too much. Logan Paul thought he could have come in, uses that sledgehammer, but no, Logan Paul was not ready for LA Knight, who has eyes behind his back. Breaks the kendo stick onto Logan Paul. Bronson Reed can't get up in time, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Logan Paul is not going to Money in the Bank, as much as we should be celebrating LA Knight. I think, for me, my biggest celebration is that Logan Paul will not be headed to the Money in the Bank PLE at all. Better not see him there. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, LA Knight will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and he has an opportunity to win it for the 2nd time consecutively. Ladies and gentlemen, LA Knight, yeah, he has done it. 2nd matchup, and 2 great opening matchups. We had the crazy interference and title switch of the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship match between Raquel and Lola. Then we had this incredible Money in the Bank qualifying matchup, and now we have Nikki Bella. Let's go ahead and hear her out. Rhea, I won the match you set up for me. And that means that I get an opportunity at your title. So at Money in the Bank, it will be the fearless Nikki Bella versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. And I promise you will not be leaving as champion. So Rhea, good luck. I'll see you then. And Nikki Bella announcing that we will be having a World Championship matchup at the Money in the Bank PLE. It will be Nikki Bella versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. That's a come, again, if my memory serves me correct, this weekend. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we must move on to another Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. This time, we got the women's. Can they live up to the incredible match that was Logan Paul versus Bronson Reed versus LA Knight? As much as I don't want to give Logan Paul the credit, he made a good chunk of that match entertaining and fun and created that suspense and fear of him potentially winning. So, ladies, can y'all step it up and live up to that same level as we have Stephanie Vaquer, Carmen Petrovic, and Asuka. Three ladies who definitely deserve the opportunity at being in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but unfortunately, there just isn't enough space in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Only one of them can make it into that ladder match. Will it be Stephanie Vaquer? Will it be Carmen Petrovic? Or will it be the, I guess, more seasoned, you could even consider a veteran, and Asuka? Of course, Asuka, the inaugural Money in the Bank winner, the very first woman to ever win the Money in the Bank. So, definitely gives her a huge advantage, not only in the Money in the Bank ladder match if she makes it, but just in this match of trying to qualify. She has that experience over the years, former world champion, and, the list goes on with her resume. So, Asuka, I would say, is the favorite in this matchup. She has that experience. She has a resume that speaks for itself. And, the other two are highly going to have to step it up. I say mostly Carmen Petrovic. She's a little newer here on the main roster. Stephanie Vaquer has had a little bit of time, but still isn't at the level of Asuka. So, as much as, again, I do try to be neutral, just statistically speaking, facts speaking, it should be Asuka who moves into the Money in the Bank ladder match. But with sports, with WWE, anything can happen. So if you're a Carmen Petrovic fan, if you're a Stephanie Vaquer fan, if you're rooting for all three girls, anything can happen, anything can win, and anyone can qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, as I previously mentioned, in our main event, we will be having another championship matchup. It will be Chad Gable, former Speed champion, former tag team champion, getting a opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship, currently being held by the ruler, Obafemi, the man who retired John Cena. The man who basically also sent Gunther spiraling down in a crazy way as he's retired Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, freaking Goldberg since then. So, he's very... his power, his level of skill, his dominance shows. Those two go at it for the Intercontinental Championship later tonight in our main events. But for now, we'll continue focusing on this match. We will be having more qualifying matches later tonight, as well as some tag team action. We will be seeing the brand new AAA World Tag Team Champions, the LWO, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, in action. As Stephanie Vaquer here could secure the victory. Asuka able to kick out at 2. Stephanie Vaquer almost shocking the world there, being able to almost pin Asuka and secure her ticket into the Money in the Bank ladder match, and she could do it here. Huge backbreaker. Carmen Petrovic is ready to break the count. Nevertheless, though, that is some huge damage being done onto Asuka. Carmen Petrovic could steal the victory. She isn't going to. Instead, she wants to do a little bit more damage. Asuka able to move out of the way. And now Asuka with the opportunity of her own as she sends Carmen Petrovic flying. And now Stephanie Vaquer who has already laid a lot of damage to Asuka, looking to continue to do more center outside of the ring. And now Stephanie McCare, the solo woman, standing inside of the ring, ready for anyone who wants to go inside. Ready with that sledgehammer. Of course, you got to win inside of the ring, pinfall or submission. So Stephanie McCare is waiting for you. Maybe not, because Carmen Petrovich slid in straight into the pinfall. You do see a kick out. But that sledgehammer did nothing. It was all props because Stephanie McCare was very hesitant on swinging it. She ended up not even swinging it one bit, and that almost costed her. But Asuka and Carmen Petrovich and Stephanie McCare continue, because Stephanie McCare was able to kick out. Now some more huge damage being done to Asuka. Able to duck right there. Now sending Carmen Petrovich flying. Could seal the victory. 1, 2, 3. Stephanie McCare has just pinned Asuka and has qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Just a couple moments ago, it was Carmen Petrovich who rolled Stephanie for the quick pinfall, almost winning the match because it was very out of nowhere. Stephanie McCare able to kick out, continued doing damage, continued working it, and she was able to pin Asuka for the 1, the 2, the 3, and she will be moving into the Money in the Bank ladder matchup. Congratulations to Stephanie McCare. She has qualified for her very first Money in the Bank match. 2 qualifying matches, both were great. I did still give it to the men's. Again, it was a very random mix between one half of the World Tag Team Champions. You had a wannabe WWE superstar Logan Paul, and then you had a former World Champion in LA Knight, but it worked out good. The chemistry was there, and it made for a very entertaining matchup. But ladies and gentlemen, we keep moving. Our last qualifying matchup for the men's side first of the Judgment Day. We already saw all the other members earlier today, except for Dirty Dom, of course, but we already saw most of the members earlier today. What? Okay. And now we're seeing JD McDonough. Now I'm very startled, and I don't even know what to say, because now we're seeing Braun Breaker, the other half of the World Tag Team Champions. We already saw Bronson Reed fail earlier today. Now we're seeing Braun Breaker give it a shot, the Money in the Bank briefcase, or at least qualifying for the matchup. It makes me really question the vision, and is there a true leader that's telling them, yes, get into these qualifying matches and go talk to Adam Pearce and make sure you're in the qualifying matches? And my brain hurts just thinking about what could happen if Braun wins and then wins the Money in the Bank, and then, oh gosh, I don't even know. But we got Joe Henry, Braun Breaker, JD McDonough, man. Whoever needs to win, they can win. Unfortunately, I'm just a commentator. So if Braun wins, and he wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he cashes in, and Seth gets mad, or he cashes in on Seth, and it starts a civil war. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that, so I'm not even going to stress about it, because I already got enough gray hairs. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our final men's qualifying matchup. Joe Henry, Braun Breaker, JD McDonough. Only one of these men can take and fill the final spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Who will it be? At the moment, the man in control is one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Braun Breaker, the man of the vision. So Braun Breaker here just laying it down. Joe Henry and JD McDonough with a steel baseball bat. And now, Joe Henry is able to counter. As a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final Money in the Bank qualifying matchup for the men's side. Later tonight, we will be seeing the final Money in the Bank qualifying for the women's side. I should probably rephrase that. No, okay. I guess technically not final. Final for the people on Raw. Or final ones on Raw. Yeah, I should have probably said that a long time ago, because, well, I did make it really seem like it was the very last one. Now we will still be seeing some more on SmackDown, I believe. You know what? I don't even remember. I'm just going to shut up. Ladies and gentlemen, later we still have a tag team match. We'll see the brand new AAA World Tag Team Champions in action. I do believe they're facing off against the Creed Brothers. So we see Chad Gable, Creed Brothers, former members of American Made before that was broken up by the LWO itself, the current AAA Mega Champion, El Dragon Lee, and the AAA. Damn, that's super tough for the LWO, I just realized. AAA Mega Championship and AAA World Tag Team titles. As a spear by Braun Breaker onto Joe Henry. Could have ended the match right there. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, as I was saying, we'll still have that tag team matchup. We'll have our final women's qualifying matchup here on Monday Night Raw. And then we have the main event of Bethany versus Chad Gable. But for now, Joe Henry is out like a light to JD McDonough. Fast enough to make the save and continue having this matchup. Continue being able to go ahead and have someone else qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Joe Henry sent outside the ring. And now JD McDonough and Braun Breaker going at it. Headbutt by JD McDonough. The skull of Braun Breaker cracked open. He is bleeding. Joe Henry picks up JD, slams him down. And now Braun Breaker with a metal pads onto Joe Henry. Joe Henry is able to move out of the way from it. And now looking for the standing ovation. Is that what he calls it? I think so. I don't know. But a quick roll-up. A quick pinfall. Oh, not even one is JD McDonough able to break the counts. And now Joe Henry sent flying. JD McDonough is now being countered by Braun Breaker. Joe Henry was able to hang on and out inside of the ring. Knee to the face of Braun Breaker, who had just sent JD flying, now sends Joe Henry flying as well. And Braun Breaker's the last man inside of the ring, but he's going to look to fly a huge splash onto Joe Henry. And now Braun Breaker picking up Joe Henry, looking to send him back inside of the ring. He grabs him, is countered. Instead, it is Joe Henry who sends him inside of the ring. JD McDonough joins them. A clothesline by Braun Breaker drops Joe Henry quickly. And now Braun Breaker, JD McDonough are going at it. A suplex by JD McDonough onto Braun Breaker. As now JD off the middle ropes looking to fly. Braun Breaker able to move out of the way. Now Joe Henry being countered by Braun Breaker. A metal bat to the body of Joe Henry interrupts the little brawl with Braun Breaker. Knees to the stomach. And hold on, because Braun Breaker is going to look for the final spear right here to secure the victory, and he connects. Is this enough to win the match? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. One half of the World Tag Team Champions, Braun Breaker, is able to get the job done in this triple threat match. He has defeated JD McDonough and Joe Henry and has earned himself a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And if he wins that Money in the Bank briefcase, I wonder what that means for the Vision and how they plan to use this Money in the Bank briefcase within their plans, or if it's going to cause a bit of tension since, Seth wants to be the one at the top, even though Braun is also and was promised a world title. Yeah, maybe this is just me trying to force a civil war. Maybe everything is fine. They've got it all over and under control. You got a mastermind like Seth, a mastermind like Paul Heyman, so they're probably good, but it's good to keep in mind that what could possibly happen. But ladies and gentlemen, Braun Breaker does make it into that Money in the Bank ladder match, and that was the final matchup, the final qualifying matchup for the men's side here on Monday Night Raw. We will still be seeing some qualifying matches over on Friday Night SmackDown later this week. We will still be seeing a women's qualifying matchup later tonight. But that was it for the men's here on Monday Night Raw. But ladies and gentlemen, next up we have some tag team action here in front of us. We have the brand new AAA World Tag Team Champions. We have not seen them here within the WWE for quite a while. Why is that? Because they have been grinding it over in AAA, and they have brought over the AAA World Tag Team Championships. That is right. Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wild were able to get it done. I believe it was this Saturday, just 2 days ago. And now they are back here within the WWE. We may still not see them too much since they are champions. They'll still have to consistently show up over on AAA, a lot like how Lola Vice was doing, how Dragon Lee is doing, how all these AAA champions are doing. Those who are part of the, official WWE roster. Of course, earlier today we were able to crown the new AAA Reina de Reinas champion. She'll be moving the same way, definitely showing up here on Monday Night Raw, but having to step away from action here on Raw for a couple weeks at a time, since she'll also have to be defending that title and working that title over on AAA. But ladies and gentlemen, we have the brand new AAA World Tag Team Champions in some tag team action here tonight against, I would say, their biggest rivals, Brutus and Julius Creed, the Creed brothers. It had been a big clash last year between the LWO and the American Made, and while American Made doesn't exist anymore, the rivalry and the anger, frustration, and the resentment between the two are, you can't even say two teams because they're technically not a team, but between what was formerly known as American Made and the current LWO, that anger, that frustration, that rivalry is 100% still there, and we're going to see it here tonight. Of course, if Brutus and Julius Creed are able to pull off a huge upset here tonight and beat the LWO, they can 100% make the case that they deserve an opportunity at the AAA World Tag Team Championships. It would be a very bad look for the LWO to lose this match. And I would say mostly because they just won the tag titles. So to then come back to WWE and lose would not be a good look. So it wouldn't just be a potential future championship match on the line. It's also a little bit about just, their self-respect, the value which their team carries, that if they lose here tonight, they're going to lose some of their stock, some of their value, saying, okay, yeah, they're the AAA World Tag Team Champions, but they lost as soon as they came back to Monday Night Raw. Can they not get it done? Within WWE's main shows, can they only get it done over on AAA? Alright, you see what I'm trying to say? But anyhow, we'll go ahead and focus on this match, because maybe that's not going to happen, because at the moment we got Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild throwing up the big LWO and beating the crap out of Brutus Creed at the moment. Brutus Creed is able to move out of the way right there just for a moment before Joaquin Wild able to counter, now sending Brutus into the corner. Referee taking a little bit of damage there, cushioned up the impact between Brutus and the turnbuckle quite a bit. And now Joaquin Wild is still doing damage. It says, referee's gonna block that other turnbuckle. I'll send him to the other. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as I already previously mentioned, later tonight, we will be seeing the final Monday Night Raw Women's Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. There will be more, but not till SmackDown. But the final Raw Money in the Bank qualifying matchups will be shown right after this matchup. It will be the women's final spot here for Monday Night Raw. And then, of course, in our main event, another former member of American Made, as the LWO gets the job done. I thought this match was going to be a little longer. That's why I was starting to talk a little bit, starting to get a little comfortable, a little lazy almost with my work. My apologies as I missed the action a bit right there. But Joaquin Wild, Cruz del Toro, the AAA World Tag Team Champions, able to go ahead and get the job done, securing the victory and showing exactly why they've been able to become the AAA World Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to them, not only for this victory here tonight, but of course for being able to now call themselves Tag Team Champions. They are the AAA World Tag Team Champions. But as I was saying, then in our main event, another ex-member of American Made who is kind of the leader of it. We have Chad Gable in action in the main event as we have the Intercontinental Championship on the line. It will be the ruler, Obafemi, the current Intercontinental Champion, versus the challenger, Chad Gable. That's a come in our main event here tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to our last Money in the Bank qualifying matchup for the night. And we got three wonderful ladies that all deserve an opportunity, all deserve a spot. But of course, only one of them can make it into the Money in the Bank ladder match. We have JC Jane already in the ring. We have the very experienced, a lot like Asuka and seasoned Becky Lynch, former multiple-time world champion, former tag team champion, former Intercontinental Champion. And talking about Tag Team Champion, we have one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, one half of the Dungeon Dolls. Natalya is the third superstar in this matchup. JC Jane had a bit of a disadvantage because at least with Asuka, it was two, kind of rookie-ish type of superstars in the one season. JC Jane is facing two greats like Natalya and Becky Lynch, which as much as I want to not be against JC Jane, this setup makes me think it's going to be between Becky Lynch and Natalya, but it's going to make it a big matchup and a great matchup because, hey, JC Jane is an underdog. She can go ahead and prove us wrong and come out here the winner and beat both Natalya and Becky Lynch and qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match as we go ahead and begin this matchup. Becky Lynch, JC Jane, Natalya, our final Money in the Bank qualifying matchup for the night. Only one spot left here for the Monday Night Raw side of things in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So this is it. If you already missed your opportunity, you're probably watching this match in disappointment. And for those three ladies inside of the ring, adrenaline is pumping through their body because this is their final one and only opportunity at this year's Money in the Bank ladder match. As Becky Lynch using that steel chair to her advantage, laying some nice damage onto Natalya at the moment. And now looking to make sure she doesn't forget about JC Jane, laying some damage onto her as well as JC Jane is being beat up by that steel chair. And now Becky Lynch senses that Natalya is getting up. Hold on, Natalya with a quick roll-up, maybe able to win the match. A kick out at one by Becky Lynch. As Becky Lynch was doing a very good job right there of attacking both of her opponents, but a slight slip-up, and Natalya was almost able to steal the victory with a quick roll-up. And now we have Natalya and JC Jane both outside of the ring, as JC Jane says, hey, if y'all gonna use weapons, I'm ready to use weapons. She didn't even get a chance to make contact with Natalya with that steel chair, as Natalya interrupts JC Jane. These two going at it by the commentator's table. Becky Lynch just recharging and, catching her breath as she watches these two really go at it. And now Natalya sent into the inside of the ring. JC Jane follows, and Becky Lynch is going to look for the submission hold right here. Natalya may have just costed her the match. Oh my days, Becky Lynch wins. Natalya sold that opportunity for herself. She was inside of the ring thinking the match wouldn't end and that she would have enough time to roll out and go get a weapon. She rolls out. She sees Becky put JC Jane in the submission hold. Quickly rushes back in. We see the replay right there. Rushes back in super fast. Not only does JC Jane tap out, Natalya accidentally knocks a ref over. So even if they broke the count or the submission, it would have not counted. And with that, Becky Lynch takes a final spot here on Monday Night Raw. What the heck? Congrats to Becky Lynch. This is not on our schedule. Seth Rollins, well, we were supposed to have a main event, but let's go ahead and hear him out. Brock Lesnar was not able to get things done for the Vision. And that's alright, that's okay, he tried his best. But now it is time for the leader of the vision, the visionary, the architect, to get his opportunity. So you want a shot at my title, and let me guess, you're gonna say you deserve a rematch, and that I haven't beat you properly, and all this BS. So how about Seth? Me and you at the Money in the Bank PLE, my World Heavyweight Championship on the line, so I can shut your mouth and put you away once and for all. Alright, CM Punk, you read my mind. Let's do it. And ladies and gentlemen, that was quick and easy. We have a matchup confirmed for the Money in the Bank PLE. It will be Seth Rollins versus the best in the world, CM Punk, for the World Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk guessed exactly what Seth was going to say. Seth said, yeah, you're right. I'm not even going to try to argue no more. You're giving me this opportunity. I'll take it. Brock Lesnar failed to bring the World Heavyweight Championship back to the division, but now it is Seth freaking Rollins' turn. It is the leader of the Vision's turn to try to face off against CM Punk and try to bring back that World Heavyweight Championship that he lost at WrestleMania. We'll see how that goes. That is confirmed for the Money in the Bank PLE. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the main event of the evening. Introducing first, we have the Ruler, our champion, the man who retired John Cena, the Intercontinental Champion, the Ruler, Obafemi. So many names, one person, one dominant force. He is here for the main events, looking to defend his Intercontinental Championship once again. And Chad Gable, I'm sorry, but I'm praying that you don't even come out and that this match never starts, because Obafemi will not be holding back the Ruler. The Intercontinental Champion is here, and his opponent, I guess you could call him the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship. The man getting the opportunity here tonight at the Ruler and his IC title. Chad Gable is here. And, well, I'm scared for him. I really am. The Ruler is not to be taken lightly, and Chad Gable, to me, it seems like he is coming in here with a lot of cockiness, a lot of extra confidence that could end up damaging him. He is so confident that he isn't aware of the danger that is a Ruler, Obafemi. But hey, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Chad Gable pulls off the upset, the underdog win of the century. We'll see how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. The main event here tonight, Intercontinental Championship on the line. The Ruler, Obafemi, Chad Gable. This is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and begin this matchup as these two are going to go at it in the middle of the ring. Back and forth action instantly. Big hits to both men, and very quickly, it is Obafemi who wins that little back and forth with a clothesline, dropping Chad Gable. Now focusing on the shoulder and neck of Chad Gable and tossing him back first onto the mat. Now off of the middle ropes. Obafemi with a big splash. Very quickly doing some enormous damage onto Chad Gable, as he now looks to target the right arm of Chad Gable here. Big stomps as Chad Gable trying to fight back against Obafemi. Obafemi shakes his head no, and instead counters and slams down Chad Gable. And Obafemi is countered right there. But very quickly, we are seeing the power and the dominance of Obafemi as he quickly counters and clothesline to drop Chad Gable, and another clothesline, dropping Chad Gable once again. And now Obafemi looking to continue to target the shoulder and neck of Chad Gable. However, this time, Gable is able to fight back, at least for a little bit, as Obafemi counters, sending Chad Gable over the ropes while he does hang on, and counters Obafemi. Hold on, Chad Gable, an opportunity for him to attack. A clothesline by Obafemi. Drops Chad Gable once again. And now an elbow drop by Obafemi. And now some big sums as Obafemi awaits a slow rising Chad Gable. Obafemi may be looking to put an end to this match. Drops Chad Gable. And now, who is here? American made. Brutus Creed just lost his match. And these two are not supposed to be helping each other no more. This teamwork of American made is supposed to be over. Obafemi is rolled up for the pinfall. A kick out before one now. I know Dragon Lee's not going to be happy about that. Brutus Creed still helping out Chad Gable. I don't think it was truly help because it looks like that only infuriated Obafemi even more. And it's not like Obafemi has lost yet, but I'm pretty sure when Dragon Lee beat Chad Gable, it basically meant y'all can't work together no more. Y'all can't help each other. And Brutus Creed just tried to help Chad Gable, so that may be a problem for the future that we're going to have to keep note of just in case. Obafemi may solve the problem for Dragon Lee as he continues to beat the crap out of Chad Gable. Elbow drop, and the second and the third elbow drop onto Chad Gable. As now Obafemi climbs the middle ropes, a big splash, and he connects. And Chad Gable, wind knocked out of him. Obafemi not finished, big stomps. And now Obafemi, he is ready. And he is looking to put the final nail in the coffin of Chad Gable. Picks him up and slams him down. And now Obafemi is charging up, is getting ready for the fall from Grace. He connects. And Obafemi isn't finished yet. He wants one final blow. Fall from Grace into the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Obafemi annihilates, obliterates, destroys Chad Gable, even with the wannabe help of Brutus Creed that only lighted the fire within Obafemi that much more. And Obafemi, after 2 enormous fall from graces, is able to go ahead and pin Chad Gable for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Obafemi is still your Intercontinental Champion as he successfully defends his title against Chad Gable. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Our celebrations begin here with Obafemi still the IC title. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys all next time.